Today I'm going to run through a review of the Aom Invisible Limiter. Now I'll give you some tips on limiting and using this whilst we go through, so make sure you watch to the end. But here we go, let's dive into my computer and let's show you how I'm using it. Here we are inside the Aom Invisible Limiter. Very simple interface, bit old school, people like that kind of thing. These are from some Japanese developers. Now, it says that it's invisible. I don't think any limiter can be completely invisible because of the nature of the beast. You're pushing into it, you're going to be changing the sound of the mix as you push into it. But I tend to EQ into limiters, so I'm kind of changing the sound anyway. So as long as I'm happy as long as it's kind of snappy still and still producing the sound that I want it to. So what's it got here? It's just very simple. There's a limiter level where it's like a threshold. Then you've got an input gain and an output gain. So you set the output to 0.1 mainly, and then you have a shape of the sound of the gain, so log or linear. Then you can do oversampling up to 16 times. There's a latency, so low latency if you're bothered about that, if that's a problem in your studio. And then you can decide whether you're in MS mode, mid-side, or left and right for your limiter level. So there's also a unity gain, so you can hear how much is getting taken away from the limiter. You can hear what the limiter's doing, essentially. So yeah, it's super simple, really easy to use. I'm adding 10.5 dB on here. I like to push the limiter as hard as I can for these demos because I'm putting them up against the Pro L. So the Pro L can handle 10 dBs again, no problem, at the levels that I'm coming in at. I'm not coming in at super loud level anyway, so a lot of this is adding gain. So it's I'm not adding 10.5 dBs of gain after 0 dB, ppm. So I'm coming into here at sort of -6 or something. So I'm only adding, say, 4 dB on it, really. That's it. I mean, sound-wise, what do I think of it? I like it. As I say, it's not invisible. I wish I could have some settings for the release and the attack time. So maybe as I start pushing more into it, I could then adjust those to change how snappy or how the transients are being affected. For me, that's important on a limiter, just because I need to adjust that all the time for the different genres I'm using. So for me, I'd like to see this kind of little advanced thing maybe where I could click that open and do that. So that's my only criticism. Apart from that, sounds pretty good. You'll hear in a minute what it sounds like against the Pro L, but because I can't adapt it as much, I can't get as much use out of it. So I think it's okay, but it's not. I wouldn't have it as a standalone limiter. If I'm looking to add a lot of level to something, this probably isn't it. But it's very good if you're just using it for something that you just want to up a bit of level and not lose too much of the sound, really, because it's not taking away from the low end, and it's just quite a nice posh sounding limiter without wanting to work too hard. So let's now have the before and after. So we'll have this, and then we'll have the Pro L next to it, which is set up to 10.5 dB too. So here you go. have it. That's the Aom Invisible Limiter. It's a cracker. Definitely have a listen to it. Try it out. If you like this video, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.